How much would you pay for an organ? Do you know the probability of being attacked by a gorilla? Did you know that, according to experts, we are just 85 seconds away from the end of the world? All this and much more today on Clam the Curious. How much does a human organ cost? Note, this isn't the price of the organ itself, but the total medical cost of a legal transplant. This includes surgery, ICU stay, doctors, medications, and aftercare. Selling organs is illegal in almost every country. In the United States, in 2025, these were the most expensive transplants. Heart, from $1.33 to $1.66 million. This is the most expensive, including complex surgery, prolonged ICU stay, and lifelong follow-up. Intestine, approximately $1.2 million, rare, delicate, and requires highly specialized equipment. Lung, approximately $561,000. This can increase significantly for a double transplant. Liver, approximately $600,000. This includes long hospital stays and intensive care. Kidney, approximately $447,000. The most common, but still extremely expensive. The majority of the cost isn't the organ itself, but the medical infrastructure and lifelong treatment with immunosuppressants. This isn't a market, it's advanced medicine and a second chance at life. A city designed to flood on purpose? Paraty, in the state of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, is a colonial gem famous for its historic center being flooded at high tide. Far from being a problem, the city was designed this way since colonial times. Seawater flows through its cobblestone streets and cleans them naturally. During full moon or new moon tides, the water level rises and transforms the streets into small rivers of salt water, creating one of the most curious urban landscapes in the world. As you can see, its streets aren't completely flat, but rather have a slight incline towards the center. This design allows the water to flow and circulate throughout the town without stagnating, helping to cleanse the streets when the tide comes in. Located about 250 kilometers from the city of Rio de Janeiro, Paraty is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It's known for its white houses with colorful frames, car-free streets, and a historic charm that uniquely blends nature, history, and architecture. Do you think this is ingenuity or colonial madness? Misophonia is a disorder in which certain everyday sounds trigger intense emotional and physical reactions. The brain interprets these sounds as a threat, activating the nervous system and causing physical symptoms such as anxiety, nausea, or even retching. Have you ever wondered what country codes actually mean? Most countries have a 2- or 3-digit code, but only 4 countries have a single-digit code. In the 1960s, the world was divided into telephone regions, and each region was assigned a starting number: 1 for North America, 2 for Africa, 3 and 4 for Europe, 5 for Central and South America, 6 for Southeast Asia and Australia, 7 for the Soviet Union, 8 for East Asia, and 9 for the Middle East. Single-digit codes were reserved for countries with the highest priority in international communication, while the others were first assigned their regional code and then their unique country code. For example, Thailand's code is 6, followed by 6. Did you know there's a language so difficult to write that many people thought their recording equipment was broken? Hadza, or Hadzane, is an isolated language spoken by fewer than 1,500 people of the Hadzabe tribe in Tanzania. Linguists consider it one of the most difficult languages in the world to transcribe. Unlike most languages, Hadza doesn't have a writing system, as it belongs to a traditionally oral hunter-gatherer culture. To try to represent it on paper, researchers use special phonetic symbols that represent clicking sounds made with the tongue. Interestingly, when some anthropologists first heard it, they thought their recordings had interference or technical glitches, when in reality they were just normal sounds of the language.
Ko bea lugu bea krikit iko bea ko anak ngata bawa tatoga bilang ko sa kang 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 kang.
Did you know that pedestrian crossings have existed for almost 2,000 years? Although today we see them painted white and regulated by traffic lights, the idea of crossing the street safely originated in ancient Rome, long before cars. In Roman cities like Pompeii, the streets were neither clean nor dry. Water, animal waste, garbage, and mud constantly flowed through them. To solve this, the Romans placed raised stone blocks called saxadrata, which allowed people to cross without getting dirty or wet. These blocks were precisely measured so that chariot wheels could pass between them without hitting them while pedestrians crossed above. It was a design intended for both vehicles and people, something very advanced for its time. Did you know that when one or more containers fall into the sea from a ship, they are usually considered lost? Ships almost never stop because maneuvering in open water can be dangerous. The container can sink or disappear quickly. The incident is usually only reported if the cargo poses a risk to navigation or the environment. On average, around 1,200 containers are lost each year. What you see on screen is one of the rarest birds in the world. The Bornean peacock pheasant is one of the most elusive and least known birds on the planet. It lives exclusively in the lowland rainforests of Borneo, making it an endemic species and difficult to study. It is recognized by its dark plumage with metallic reflections, its striking blue face, and its white legs. Unlike other, more colorful pheasants, this one prefers to remain hidden among the dense vegetation, moving discreetly to avoid predators. It is currently threatened due to habitat loss, which makes every sighting truly special for researchers and nature lovers. Did you know that one of the best archers in the world has no arms? Matt Stutzman, known as the armless archer, is a true legend of the sport. He was born without arms, but that was never a limitation. Using his feet, his shoulder, and a unique technique, he achieved something that seems impossible. A Guinness World Record for the longest and most accurate shot in the world, hitting a target at 310 yards, 283.5 meters, a distance that many archers with arms don't even dare to attempt. In London 2012, he won a silver medal, and in Paris 2024, he was crowned Olympic champion. Matt doesn't just compete, he surpasses able-bodied athletes, demonstrating that the real limitations are not in the body, but in the mind. It's not just about aim, it's about discipline, ingenuity, and sheer willpower. Did you know that we're already cleaning the ocean for real? For years it seemed impossible, but the ocean cleanup proved that it can be done. This initiative was created by Boyan Slat, a young Dutch engineer who decided to tackle one of the planet's biggest problems, plastic in the oceans. Between 2025 and early 2026, the project reached record figures, removing more than 25 million kilograms of trash in just 1 year. A total of 45 million kilograms have been removed since its inception. How do they do it? They use enormous floating U-shaped systems, propelled solely by wind, waves, and ocean currents. These systems passively concentrate the plastic, without nets or motors, reducing harm to marine life. Then, specialized ships collect the waste and take it ashore for recycling and reuse. In the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, nearly 0.5% of the total plastic has already been removed, something that seemed impossible just a few years ago. The most impressive thing is that if the system is scaled up and continues to receive global support, it could be completely cleaned up in about 10 years. Did you know that in Thailand there's a giant wooden temple that looks like something out of a dream? It's called the Sanctuary of Truth and stands 105 meters tall. Located on the waterfront in Pattaya, what's most impressive is that it's built entirely of wood without a single metal nail, using traditional assembly techniques that seem almost magical. But it's not your average temple. It's a monument to art, philosophy, and reflection on life, combining elements of Buddhism, Hinduism, and other Asian traditions. It has no electricity. All the rooms are illuminated solely by natural light that enters and reflects off the wood, creating a play of light and shadow that changes throughout the day. The Sanctuary of Truth is not just a place of prayer. It's a breathtaking visual and spiritual journey for all who visit. The Leoconcha hieroglyphica is a species of marine clam with angular, colorful markings. These patterns resemble ancient hieroglyphs. It's as if someone carefully drew them, but that's not the case. What's most surprising is that these designs form completely naturally. Did you know that one of the most important parts of Scotch whisky isn't made in a distillery, but in a cooperage? The Speyside Cooperage, located in Coelacanth, is the largest cooperage in Scotland and the UK. Founded in 1947, it has become the silent heart of the Scotch whisky industry. Here, between 350 and 400 barrels are repaired and reconditioned every day, processing up to 1,800 to 2,000 casks per week. This is crucial because whiskey derives much of its flavor, color, and aroma from the wood in which it ages. Instead of constantly manufacturing new barrels, many are disassembled, refired, and rebuilt, allowing them to continue being used for decades. Without this artisanal work, much of the character of Scotch whisky simply wouldn't exist. Did you know that one of Spain's most sacred sites is built inside a cave, suspended above a waterfall? The sanctuary of Covadonga, and especially the Holy Cave, is the spiritual heart of Asturias and a key symbol of Spanish history. Located on Mount Ausova, this natural grotto houses the image of the Virgin of Covadonga, known as La Santina. According to tradition, King Pelayo took refuge here during the Battle of Covadonga in 722, an event considered the beginning of the Reconquista. The chapel is literally carved into the rock and appears to hang over a waterfall that plunges into a small lagoon called El Pozón. Below the cave are the famous 7 spouts, where local lore says that whoever drinks from them will be married within a year, making the place a unique blend of history, faith, and legend. Discover Prijama Castle in Slovenia, a castle literally built inside a mountain. This unique fortress is constructed directly into the mouth of a cave embedded in a 123-meter-high cliff. With over 800 years of history, it holds the Guinness World Record for the largest cave castle in the world. Its fame stems not only from its improbable location, but also from its network of caves and secret passageways that allowed for undetected entry and exit during sieges. The most famous is Erasmus's tunnel, used as a secret escape and supply route. Legend has it that its owner, the Knight Erasmus of Prijama, withstood a siege for months thanks to these hidden tunnels and the secret access to food from the mountain. Today it can be visited, and individual admission is around $16, allowing you to explore both the castle and part of the cave system that made it virtually impregnable. Giraffes have nowhere to hide from storms because of their enormous size. Fortunately, bad weather isn't common in the regions where they live. Poor things. Did you know that Venezuela was once home to the world's largest man-made forest? It's called the Uvarito Forest, located between the states of Anzoátegui and Monagas. Planted by people, not by nature, it once covered some 600,000 hectares of Caribbean pine, making it the world's largest man-made forest plantation. This forest was not only gigantic, but also vital. It helped to change the local climate, preventing the Guanipa Plateau from becoming a desert, and it provided work, timber, and sustenance for entire communities. By planting millions of pine trees in a previously arid region, the visionaries behind Uvarito demonstrated what human action can achieve when working with nature, not against it. It still exists today, although it has faced deforestation and fires that have reduced its original size. Kyotaku is an ancient Japanese printing technique using real fish. Fishermen would ink their freshly caught fish and press them onto paper to record their size and shape. Interestingly, over time, this practice evolved from a simple fishing log into an art form. Did you know that the strongest primate on the planet is also the most peaceful? That silent giant is the gorilla. The probability of a gorilla attacking a human without provocation is a mere 0.1% in controlled encounters with guides. Unlike other primates, gorillas are peaceful herbivores. They eat up to 30 kilograms of vegetation a day: roots, leaves, stems, and fruits. There are two main species: the western gorilla, the typical Tarzan, and the eastern gorilla, which is larger and darker. The largest males can stand 1.8 meters tall and weigh nearly 200 kilograms. The silverback isn't a species, it's the leader of the troop. Did you know that in Tibet there is a burial practice where the body isn't buried, but rather offered to nature? Sky burial, known as jator, meaning giving alms to the birds, is a spiritual practice in Tibetan Buddhism, where the deceased's body is offered to vultures instead of being buried or cremated. This tradition has a profound religious meaning. The body is seen only as a temporary vessel, and by offering it to other living beings, a final act of generosity and detachment is performed. It also has a practical origin, since on the high plateaus of Tibet, the ground is often frozen or rocky, making burials difficult. If the vultures consume the body completely, it is considered a good omen, a sign that the deceased departed in peace, and their soul continued its journey. According to Buddhist beliefs, would you see it as an extreme act, or as one of the most profound ways to return to nature? Did you know that Switzerland has a library that looks like it's straight out of a fairy tale? The library of the Abbey of St. Gall is the oldest in Switzerland and one of the most important monastic libraries in the world. It houses 170,000 volumes and 2,100 medieval manuscripts, 400 of which are over 1,000 years old. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1983, it stands out not only for its history, but also for its breathtaking beauty. Ceilings adorned with frescoes depicting church councils and Christian figures, curved Baroque moldings, and 34 windows that illuminate the room, making every detail shine. On January 27, 2026, a historic chapter in animal diplomacy closed with the return of the last giant pandas from Japan to China, leaving Japan without any pandas after more than 50 years. This event symbolizes a new stage in international cooperation, strengthened by recent conservation agreements, such as the new 10-year program signed with the Munich Zoo in Germany. From a biological perspective, this move celebrates the resounding success of China's protection programs, which have stabilized the wild population thanks to the recovery of its habitat. The giant panda is now firmly established as a vulnerable species, definitively moving away from the critical danger of extinction. This milestone stands as one of the greatest triumphs of modern conservation, demonstrating that diplomacy and science can save species on the brink of extinction. A baby has made medical history. KJ was born with an extremely rare genetic disorder that prevented his liver from eliminating ammonia from his body, a potentially fatal condition present in 1 out of every 300,000 births. He spent months hospitalized until scientists created a personalized CRISPR-Cas9 gene therapy for him in record time. They applied gene editors to his liver to correct the mutation in the CPS1 gene. As a result, he tolerated the treatment, improved, is growing healthy, and overcame common infections without complications. It is the first gene therapy tailored specifically for a single patient, a future where diseases could be cured at the DNA level. The Hubble Space Telescope discovered Cloud 9, a phantom galaxy composed solely of hydrogen and dark matter, devoid of stars. This is a landmark discovery because it confirms the real existence of these objects, previously known only in theory. Its proximity to the galaxy M94 allows scientists to study dark matter in its almost pure state and understand how the first structures of the universe formed without the interference of starlight. It looks like a capsule from the future, but it's a real medical device. The Pigostat has been around since the 1960s and is used to keep babies and toddlers still during X-rays. This transparent cylinder holds them upright for a few seconds, painlessly, to achieve perfect images on the first try. The goal is to avoid repeating scans and reduce radiation exposure. Although its appearance may seem awkward or strange, it's completely safe and crucial for diagnosing lung infections or malformations. Even an adult can accompany the child with special protection. A strange but vital invention for pediatric medicine. The future of health is no longer on your wrist, it's on your finger. The Oura Ring 4 is a titanium smart ring capable of monitoring sleep, stress, activity, and recovery 24/7 with medical precision. It uses infrared sensors to measure heart rate, blood oxygen, temperature, and heart rate variability. Its smart sensing technology adapts to your finger for improved data, and its battery lasts up to 8 days. It's water-resistant to 100 meters, detects exercise, and calculates your cardiovascular age. It connects with Apple Health, Google Health, and Strava. Basically, a lab on your finger. Would you wear it to hack your daily health? Hidden away in London's Royal Botanic Gardens lives a celebrity and also the loneliest bachelor on the planet. Encephalartos woody looks like a low-growing palm tree, but it's actually a prehistoric cycad that dominated the Earth in the age of dinosaurs. Today, only one known specimen remains, and it's a male. Discovered in South Africa in 1895, it was transferred and cloned in botanical gardens, but a female was never found. Without a mate, it cannot reproduce naturally, making it a technically extinct species in the wild. It's a true living fossil from the Jurassic era, condemned to solitude. Bacterial mining, or bioleaching, has become the definitive solution for recycling electronic waste. Instead of using polluting furnaces or toxic chemicals, microorganisms like acidithuiobacillus are used, which literally consume the minerals to separate metals such as gold, copper, and cobalt from the circuits of old phones and computers. Thanks to biotechnological advances, optimized strains have been created that can recover up to 90% of valuable metals with minimal energy expenditure. This process has transformed e-waste landfills into the new mines of the 21st century, becoming a cornerstone of the circular economy by converting hazardous waste into critical raw materials for industry without harming the planet. In 2026, Celaya emerges, an adaptive cinema technology that modifies the film in real time based on the audience's emotions, detected by sensors and cameras. An AI adjusts the story, characters, or ending to maintain interest, making each screening unique. Cinema ceases to be passive and transforms into an interactive experience where the audience influences the plot without directly intervening. Did you know there's a clock that doesn't measure time, but rather how close we are to the end of the world? It's called the Doomsday Clock, and it's not a real clock, but a symbol created in 1947 by the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. It was designed by scientists involved in the Manhattan Project, including figures like Albert Einstein and Robert Oppenheimer, to warn humanity about the dangers of nuclear weapons, and today, also about climate change, pandemics, and out-of-control technologies. Every year, a board of experts, including 13 Nobel laureates, decides whether to move the hands forward or backward. Midnight represents global catastrophe or the collapse of civilization. At the end of January 2026, the clock was set to 85 seconds to midnight, the closest point to the end in its entire history. This clock doesn't predict the future, but it does send us a clear warning. We have never been so close to crossing the line. Time isn't just passing, it's running out. A quartz crystal disk has been developed that can securely store 360 terabytes of information for billions of years. This device is extremely resistant to heat and the passage of time, designed to preserve knowledge of human history long after our possible extinction. The information is recorded using lasers that create nanostructures within the crystal. Unlike current hard drives that fail within a few years, this crystal memory is virtually indestructible and requires no power to retain data. It is a digital time capsule that ensures the scientific and artistic legacy of our civilization remains intact for any future intelligence traversing the universe, defying eternal oblivion. Wait a minute. I need you to see something. How is it possible that 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed to the channel? Remember that subscribing is free! The more of us there are in the community, the more videos like this I can continue to make. Support the channel with your subscription, give me a like, and leave a comment for the algorithm. Nature is connected by invisible threads. Every year, millions of tons of sand from the Sahara Desert travel thousands of kilometers through the air to reach the Amazon rainforest. This dust is vital because it contains phosphorus, a nutrient that acts as a natural fertilizer for Amazonian plants. Without this constant supply from another continent, the rainforest soil would quickly become depleted due to leaching caused by constant rainfall. This global phenomenon demonstrates that deserts and rainforests are part of an interdependent planetary system where dust from an arid continent allows for the exuberance of the world's greatest biodiversity hotspot, reminding us that nothing on Earth happens in isolation. Did you know you can now film hummingbirds like a National Geographic documentary crew member? The Birdfy Hum Bloom is a smart feeder designed to capture hummingbirds in 4K quality and slow motion at 120 frames per second, revealing every detail of their incredibly fast wing beats. Its camera is hidden to avoid ruining the shot, and the nectar reservoir is shaped like a flower to naturally attract them. It includes artificial intelligence that identifies species, sends real-time notifications to your smartphone, features an ant-proof moat, BPA-free materials, and even an optional solar panel. Nature meets science in documentary style, when technology serves true beauty. Can you imagine having a mini human organ growing in a lab? They exist, and they're called organoids. Tiny 3D versions of organs like the brain, liver, or kidneys created from stem or tumor cells. Unlike flat cultures, these mini-organs self-organize and function similarly to real ones. Scientists use them to study diseases, test medications, and create treatments for each patient. They also help reduce animal testing. Although still experimental and lacking complete blood vessels, they are already revolutionizing medicine. The future of healthcare could literally be growing in the lab. Fully transparent windows have been perfected that function as high-efficiency solar panels without obstructing the view or the aesthetics of buildings. These windows are made of organic materials that absorb only ultraviolet and infrared light to generate electricity, while allowing natural light to pass through. This innovation allows large skyscrapers to be transformed into massive power plants that fuel their own internal lighting and climate control systems. By blocking infrared heat, these windows also keep the interior cooler, drastically reducing the need for air conditioning. It is a sustainable, architectural solution that seamlessly integrates renewable energy generation into the urban fabric of the smart cities of the future. These giants of the sea transport frozen energy. LNG carriers transport liquefied natural gas at around 162 degrees Celsius. So cold, in fact, that its volume shrinks 600 times to cross oceans. They are high-tech floating tanks They use enormous spheres with special membranes to contain the gas without leaks. They can hold up to 266,000 cubic meters of LNG, and many are powered by the gas they carry, using dual-fuel engines. If the gas evaporates, it isn't lost, it propels the ship. With extreme safety systems, they are key to the world's energy supply when pipelines are unavailable. Essentially, entire cities depend on these icy behemoths. The phone of the future could bring back the physical keyboard. The Click's Power Keyboard is an accessory that combines a slide-out, QWERTY keyboard and a magnetic power bank in one. It attaches to the phone with MagSafe or QI2-type magnets. It allows you to type like the classic BlackBerry and wirelessly charge your phone with 2,300 mAh at 5 watts. It has backlit keys, hides behind the phone when not in use, and connects via Bluetooth L5.4 to smartphones, tablets, or even TVs. Ideal for emails, notes, and messages without blocking the screen. Its price is around $109. Retro productivity with current technology. Would you go back to a physical keyboard or stick with touchscreens? Medical science has reached a milestone with the first three-dimensional map of a human cell at the atomic level. This advance, driven by global biotechnology initiatives, allows scientists to observe how proteins interact and how nutrients move within the cytoplasm in real time. With this biological Google Maps, scientists can identify molecular errors before they develop into disease symptoms. It is a crucial tool for creating personalized medicines that target specific problems without harming surrounding healthy tissue. This level of visualization transforms our understanding of life, allowing us to navigate the interior of the body as if it were a digital city. A fish that outlived the dinosaurs and still swims today. The Coelacanth appeared some 400 million years ago and was believed to be extinct until a live one was found in South Africa in 1938. It lives at depths of 100 to 200 meters, can live up to 100 years, and has a gestation period of almost 3 years. Its lobed fins move like tiny legs, key to studying how animals transitioned from water to land. It has a tiny brain, an organ for detecting electricity, and its flesh is inedible. There are 2 species in Africa and Indonesia, but today it is endangered. If it survived for millions of years, will it manage to outlive humans? Some people are born with a natural white forelock, and it's not a trend, it's called Piebaldism. It's a rare inherited genetic condition that causes white patches on the skin and a characteristic forelock from birth. It occurs due to the absence of melanocytes, the cells that give skin its color, and is usually linked to mutations in the KIT gene. Unlike vitiligo, it doesn't progress or change over time. It's stable for life. There's no cure, but it requires strong sun protection to avoid sunburn and other skin risks. In very rare cases, it can be associated with hearing or vision problems. It's basically a unique pattern from birth. Were you aware of this condition, or did you think it was just a fashion statement? Nikola Toy transformed a pen holder into a miniature desktop air defense system. This toy, capable of holding up to 9 pens, includes a motion sensor that detects the nearest target and launches them at the touch of a button. It's a bit absurd, but entertaining. Do you know what Moringa is, or have you ever tried it? According to research from the Institute of Endocrinology of the Cuban Ministry of Public Health, if this plant is ingested daily, it visibly improves hair density, strength, and shine in just 12 weeks in people with nutritional deficiencies and hair loss. This is due to the high concentration of zinc and iron in Moringa, essential elements for repairing hair follicles and improving scalp oxygenation. Furthermore, it's worth mentioning that it reduces inflammation, controls blood sugar, improves cardiovascular health, and protects the skin, among other benefits. It's official. The human immunodeficiency virus, known as HIV, is no longer considered a terminal illness. The virus, which was once impossible to control and terrified everyone, has now become a chronic condition that can be managed like arthritis, diabetes, or high blood pressure. In the 1990s, a person with HIV had a life expectancy of just 39 years. Today, with access to treatment, they can live as long as someone without the virus. Antiretroviral therapy reduces the viral load to undetectable levels and prevents transmission. The biggest challenge today is not medical, but rather the social and political stigma. Scientists at the University of Pennsylvania have developed chewing gum capable of fighting common viruses like the flu and herpes. This technology uses a plant protein that traps pathogens before they can infect us. The key ingredient, called frill, is extracted from the lablab bean, a plant that acts as a powerful magnet for viruses. Scientific tests demonstrate an efficacy of over 95%, neutralizing various strains of influenza and the herpes virus. By capturing the viral load directly in saliva, this method organically breaks the chain of oral transmission. Best of all, the gum already meets rigorous safety standards, so it will soon be accessible to everyone. This is the most irreverent bottle opener I've ever seen. And I'm not kidding, okay? This thing actually exists. Besides being an unusual decoration for your living room, you can also use it to open bottles at your gatherings. Would you put it in your house? In South Africa, a 16-year-old girl named Bolale Mfahlele created the alerting earpiece, a smart earring designed to protect victims of assault, especially in cases of gender-based violence. The device looks like ordinary jewelry, allowing for discreet wear. In dangerous situations, it is activated by pressing a hidden button. Once activated, the earring takes a photograph of the aggressor with a concealed camera. It sends the real-time GPS location to emergency contacts and triggers a silent alarm. The images and data collected serve as evidence in legal proceedings. Would you use or would you want your family members to use such a security device? Egypt recently built the world's largest museum, dedicated to a single civilization. Spanning 500,000 square meters, it houses over 100,000 artifacts from all periods of Egyptian history, including the treasures of Tutankhamun, the colossal statue of Ramses II, royal tombs, jewelry, and much more. The museum offers an immersive experience with augmented reality headsets that allow you to virtually walk through ancient Egypt. If you can't travel there, the museum offers a virtual tour from the comfort of your home. Would you like to explore this place and learn about Egyptian history? Would you wash your hands with pigeon poop? Relax. Don't panic. It's a soap dispenser designed to look like a pigeon is defecating on your hand. It's one of those absurd objects that's perfect for getting a laugh from your guests. Although it may seem unusual, in the Netherlands, when someone dies without family or friends attending their funeral, the state ensures they are not alone. The government assigns a civil servant to attend the ceremony, and a poet is invited to read a personalized poem written specifically for the deceased. This initiative was created to offer dignity and recognition even in the final solitude. The poem is based on the limited information available about the deceased's life, making the funeral a humane and respectful event. It is a simple yet profound way of remembering that every life deserves a farewell. The Chinese technology company Safmax has unveiled a nanomembrane material capable of withstanding extreme temperatures of up to 1,200 degrees Celsius without deforming, shrinking, or melting. This material is not only fire-resistant, but also waterproof, windproof, and surprisingly breathable. Most remarkably, it can be manufactured in fibers thinner than a human hair, at just 1% of its thickness. This material will revolutionize firefighter suits, emergency blankets, and fire protection. It is much lighter and more efficient than conventional fabrics, marking a significant technological leap in personal safety. 68 million years ago, it ruled the skies, but it wasn't a dinosaur. Quetzalcoatlus was the largest known flying reptile, a pterosaur with wingspans of up to 12 meters, about the size of a small airplane. On land, it could be as tall as a giraffe, standing 5 or 6 meters in height. It had an incredibly long neck, a toothless beak, and long legs. Contrary to what you might imagine, it didn't live in the sea. It walked on all fours and hunted small vertebrates on land. Like a giant prehistoric stork, its name comes from the Aztec god Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent. It was the true titan of the Cretaceous sky. Transparent wood has established itself between 2024 and 2025 as the definitive ecological alternative to glass, achieved through a chemical process that replaces lignin with biodegradable resins. This hybrid material not only maintains the structural strength and carbon sequestration of natural wood, but also offers thermal insulation 5 times greater than conventional windows, drastically optimizing energy consumption. Highly impact-resistant and capable of diffusing sunlight without glare, it ushers in a new era in bioclimatic architecture, enabling the construction of much more efficient, safe, and sustainable buildings. This fish looks like it stepped off an underwater fashion show, but it's 100% real. The red-lipped batfish sports such an intense scarlet lipstick that it looks freshly applied, and it's not for style, it's to seduce. This strange inhabitant of the Galapagos Islands and the coasts of Peru lives between 3 and 76 meters deep and is such a poor swimmer that it doesn't even chase its mate. Instead, it walks along the seabed on its fins as if it had legs. Its glossy lips are its weapon of conquest in the darkness of the ocean, and to hunt, it uses a lure on its head as a living hook. In a world full of fast-moving fish, it chose to be an icon of glamour. Dynamic wireless charging roads are revolutionizing electric mobility by allowing vehicles to recharge their batteries while in motion. Using induction coils under the asphalt, these routes transfer electromagnetic energy to passing vehicles. This technology is expected to achieve optimal efficiency even at high speeds by 2025. Already operational on sections of roads in Sweden and the United States, this innovation eliminates the need for lengthy stops at charging stations. By enabling the use of smaller and lighter batteries, it significantly reduces the cost of electric vehicles and optimizes global logistics, transforming highways into uninterrupted sources of energy for freight and passenger transport. The sonification of fungi has revealed in 2025 that mycelium not only transmits electrical impulses, but also maintains complex communication with a vocabulary of up to 50 linguistic units. By connecting electrodes to these underground networks and processing their signals using synthesizers, scientists have managed to translate their biological activity into musical compositions that vary according to stimuli such as light or humidity. This advancement allows the fungus to act as a real-time biological indicator. Changes in the harmony and rhythm of the mycelium serve to monitor the health of forests. Thus, sonification ceases to be merely an artistic tool for generating music and becomes a critical technology for environmental monitoring, where the forest sings to us its state of well-being or stress. Lake Panure seemed tranquil until 1980, when it literally vanished. Beneath this Louisiana lake lay a massive salt mine, active since 1919. But on November 20th, a Texaco oil drill miscalculated its location and pierced the mine's roof at a depth of over 400 meters. Water began to seep in, creating a gigantic whirlpool that sucked in the oil platform, 11 barges, trucks, trees, and even part of the shoreline. The entire lake drained into the mine, forming an inverted waterfall and the most violent whirlpool ever recorded. Miraculously, the miners escaped with their lives. The disaster transformed the landscape forever. The pumpkin toad has surprised scientists this past year with the discovery of new species like Brachycephalus lulei in Brazil. These amphibians are an extreme example of evolutionary miniaturization, measuring barely a centimeter and possessing bones that glow under ultraviolet light, as well as an auditory system so limited that they can't even hear their own calls. The most curious aspect of their biology is their clumsiness when jumping. Due to the minuscule size of their ear canals, they lose their balance in the air and are unable to land on their feet, falling uncontrollably after each jump. Their intense orange color is not just decorative, it serves as a warning signal of their high toxicity, compensating with poison for their lack of acrobatic skills. The long-life diamond battery is an innovation that transforms nuclear waste into a clean and perpetual energy source. By encapsulating radioactive carbon-14 within synthetic diamonds, it harnesses beta decay to generate electricity continuously for thousands of years, with an estimated lifespan of up to 28,000 years. Between 2025 and 2026, improvements in semiconductor technology enabled the miniaturization of these batteries for critical applications, such as pacemakers that never require replacement surgery, underwater sensors, and long-range space probes. Thanks to the extreme hardness of diamond, the radiation is safely sealed, offering a dual solution: nuclear waste management and autonomous power supply in the most hostile environments in the universe. There is a plant so strange it seems to be from another planet. Hydnora africana lives almost entirely underground in southern Africa. It has no leaves, stems, or chlorophyll, and survives by parasitizing the roots of other plants for nutrients. It only appears when it flowers, a reddish-brown structure that emerges after the rains. Its trick? It smells like feces or rotting meat to attract beetles that become trapped inside long enough to pollinate it, after which it releases them. Because of its extreme form and lifestyle, many call it the strangest plant in the world. The creation of robots that alternate between solid and liquid states marks a milestone in soft, robotics, and biomedicine. Using a gallium matrix with magnetic particles, these machines can melt using magnetic fields to pass through narrow barriers and then return to their original shape, drawing inspiration from the versatility of liquid metals. By 2025, this technology has revolutionized non-invasive medicine by enabling the removal of foreign objects and the precise delivery of drugs to hard-to-reach areas within the human body. This phase transition system offers extreme mobility, merging the strength of solids with the adaptability of fluids to create a new generation of intelligent medical devices. Hey, wait a minute! If you're here, it's because you like curiosities, right? Let me tell you, I have a big surprise for you. If you love random curiosities as much as I do, you're going to love my new channel, Colin Studio. There, I don't tell you 100 facts in one video. Instead, I take you deep into one fascinating topic. Real mysteries, incredible inventions, hidden truths, and things you probably never knew existed. So if you love to explore, think, and be amazed, check out Colin Studio and subscribe. Hope to see you there. Stay curious. Your scale no longer just measures weight. Now it analyzes your entire health. The Withings Body Scan 2 is a medical-grade smart scale capable of checking more than 60 biomarkers in just 90 seconds. It uses technology to measure fat, muscle, water, bone, and visceral fat by arm, torso, and legs. It includes a 6-lead electrocardiogram, arterial stiffness analysis, and early detection of nerve problems linked to diabetes. It connects to your smartphone via Wi-Fi, recognizes up to 8 users, integrates predictive artificial intelligence, and its battery lasts 15 months. It will be released this year for $600. Basically, a mini daily medical checkup from home. Imagine stepping into a place where the walls shimmer like a giant kaleidoscope. Ayene Kari, or mirror work, is an Iranian art form that decorates interiors with thousands of mirror fragments carved into plaster. Artisans create geometric and floral mosaics that multiply the light, transforming ceilings, domes, and walls into luminous and almost hypnotic spaces. It can be seen in palaces, houses, and sanctuaries like the Shah Sheraj Mausoleum in Shiraz. In Persian culture, mirrors symbolize purity and enlightenment. This technique was recognized by UNESCO in 2025 as intangible cultural heritage. Art, architecture, and light in a single work. Can you think of another place in the world this fascinating? Scientists have developed a blood test capable of detecting Parkinson's disease years before the first motor symptoms appear. The test identifies specific changes in proteins related to alpha-synuclein, a key molecule in the disease. Detecting Parkinson's at such early stages would allow for preventative treatments, slowing neuronal damage, and significantly improving patients' quality of life. Currently, diagnosis is usually made when the brain has already suffered irreversible damage. This advance opens the door to predictive and effective medicine for a disease that affects millions of people worldwide. Although sound doesn't travel in space, NASA has captured the sun's electromagnetic and plasma vibrations, converting them into sounds audible to us. The sun vibrates constantly, like a giant bell, due to the massive movement of hot gases and magnetic fields within it. These frequencies reveal a deep, rhythmic hum that scientists use to study our star's internal structure without needing to see it directly. Listening to this solar roar allows us to better understand solar storms that affect our terrestrial communications, reminding us that we live under the constant influence of a dynamic, sonorous, and incredibly powerful stellar engine that dictates the rhythm of the solar system. Remember that there is no sound in space, so what we hear is a reconstruction, a conversion of amplitudes and frequencies into sound waves that gives us an idea of what those vibrations would sound like if there were an atmosphere to transmit them to us. Scientists have created xenobots, the first living robots built from frog embryo stem cells. These tiny organisms can be programmed for specific tasks, such as cleaning microplastics in the oceans or navigating our arteries to clear blockages. Remarkably, xenobots can collect cells from their environment and assemble copies of themselves, demonstrating a form of biological self-replication never before seen in man-made machines. Being biological, they are completely biodegradable and disappear without leaving a toxic trace upon death. This breakthrough definitively blurs the line between conventional robotics and biology, opening up a field of infinite possibilities for regenerative medicine and the automated environmental restoration of the future. MIT engineers have created bionic plants that emit their own light using nanotechnology integrated into their leaves. The ultimate goal is for city trees to replace electric streetlights in the future, illuminating streets naturally and sustainably. These plants use their own energy metabolism to generate a constant glow, eliminating the need for cables and grid power. Although the glow is currently dim, advances in bionanonics suggest that we will soon have vegetation capable of autonomously illuminating both indoor and outdoor spaces. This technology seeks to merge nature with urban lighting to create greener cities, reducing light pollution and fossil fuel consumption in innovative ways. In Chicago, heartbreak comes with an official certificate. The Brookfield Zoo launched a campaign where, for $15, you can name a Madagascar hissing cockroach after your ex. Yes, it's real. The donation supports animal conservation, and you receive a personalized certificate as official proof. Plus, the chosen name appears on the Hamill Family Play Zoo's cockroach naming board. It's a therapeutic, fun, and charitable way to get over heartbreak, because therapy is expensive, but this is sure to heal the soul. A team of MIT researchers has designed an artificial intelligence capable of detecting signs of pancreatic cancer up to 3 years before traditional medical methods can identify them. The algorithm works by analyzing complex patterns in medical records and imaging studies that are invisible to the human eye, allowing for life-saving early intervention. The system processes millions of biological data points to identify minute risks that indicate the silent onset of the disease. This breakthrough represents a paradigm shift in modern oncology, where technology not only aids in treatment, but also becomes a massive predictive tool that redefines patient survival rates. A body was found in the Alps in 1991 and turned out to be 5,300 years old. Oetzi the Iceman is the best preserved natural mummy in Europe, and also the victim of one of the oldest known murders. He died at age 46 from an arrow wound to the back. His frozen body allowed scientists to discover his last meal, his clothing, weapons, and up to 61 tattoos that could be prehistoric medicine. He suffered from arthritis, heart problems, and was lactose intolerant. His DNA links him to ancient farmers. Today, he lives in a cold storage chamber in an Italian museum. A Copper Age crime that we continue to investigate today. Urban mobility has taken a definitive leap into the sky with the entry into service of the first electric flying taxis, known as eVTOLs. Companies like Joby Aviation and Archer have received official certifications to operate fleets of aircraft that take off vertically like a helicopter, but fly silently and efficiently like an airplane. These vehicles are designed to transport passengers across major metropolitan areas in a matter of minutes, reducing commutes from an hour by car to just 10 minutes by plane. They are powered by high-performance electric motors that produce no direct emissions, making them the eco-friendly alternative for decongesting city streets. What was once a science fiction promise is now an on-demand air transport network that is radically transforming the architecture and pace of life in the world's most modern cities. The Korea Advanced Institute of Science and Technology announced the development of a powdered hemostatic agent capable of stopping bleeding in approximately 1 second. When applied directly to a wound and in contact with blood, the material transforms into a solid hydrogel that seals the area almost immediately. This technology was designed for extreme situations such as combat, serious accidents, and natural disasters where time and access to medical care are critical. Thanks to its powder format, it adapts to deep or irregular wounds, drastically reducing deaths from severe hemorrhaging. Would you use this powder in an emergency? Believe it or not, this isn't freshly baked bread. It's a mug. Fidel Baez creates hyper-realistic mugs shaped like bread rolls. They're so realistic, they're almost brain-dead. This accessory is perfect for bread lovers. I don't know whether it makes me want to drink coffee or take a bite. At first glance, it looks like a regular tablet case, but you know we brought it here for a reason. This case, the Moft Dynamic Folio, has slots that unfold, allowing you to position your tablet in many different ways. It's ideal for watching a movie or typing, and it even lets you place your smartphone on top. I don't know about you, but I'm dying to have it. It's perfect for many of the ideas I have in mind. The downside is, I'm less tempted when I find out it costs $119. My mind wants it, but my wallet doesn't. An innovative polymer for mobile device screens has been invented that has the astonishing ability to repair itself simply by applying manual pressure or ambient heat. If the glass suffers a scratch or a small crack, the molecules within the material regain their mobility and bond together to fill the crack in a matter of minutes. This breakthrough eliminates the need for costly external repairs and reduces electronic waste. This technology will not only extend the lifespan of our smartphones, but also has potential applications in car windshields and building windows, significantly improving the durability of everyday products and reducing the environmental impact of constantly manufacturing replacement glass. Lego Crocs. The brands collaborated, and this was the result. If you ask me, although they're a bit extravagant, they're not bad at all. Best of all, they come with a Lego minifigure that also has its own pair of Crocs. In Nigeria, there's a unique tradition in Ijaw weddings. The women participate in a ritual where the bride must maintain a serious expression, almost like a statue, throughout the ceremony. No matter the music or jokes, she won't show any joy until the groom and guests shower her with banknotes. It's not simply about money, but about dignity and personal worth. That delayed smile is proof that the husband is truly committed to supporting and caring for her. It's our way of showing that she's a jewel to be valued, explain those who keep the tradition alive. Only when the woman feels supported and protected by her new family does she offer her first smile, and the flow of money stops. Due to global warming and melting ice in northern India, artificial glaciers have been created to ensure water availability during the lean months of April and May. To achieve this, wooden structures with underground pipes have been designed to channel meltwater to the surface, where it freezes into cone-shaped ice upon contact with the frigid air. This system uses no electricity and produces no pollution, as it relies entirely on the laws of physics and the extreme low temperatures. In Tasmania, Australia, a photographer captured the eastern quoll, an endangered marsupial, glowing blue under ultraviolet light. Although its fur appears ordinary at first glance, its white markings turn dark. Under ultraviolet light, they emit an intense blue glow, like a constellation. This phenomenon, known as biofluorescence, occurs when certain compounds in the skin or fur absorb ultraviolet radiation and re-emit it in visible colors. Other animals, from sharks to flying squirrels, also exhibit this striking characteristic. Geological investigations have confirmed the existence of a gigantic water reservoir located 600 kilometers beneath the Earth's crust. This immense water reserve is not in liquid form, but rather trapped within the molecular structure of a rock called ringwoodite, potentially containing 3 times more water than all the surface oceans combined. This discovery is fundamental to understanding Earth's water cycle and suggests that water has been present inside the planet since its formation. This reservoir acts as a deep storage system that regulates the stability of the surface oceans, demonstrating that a much more complex and dynamic geological world and aquifer exists beneath our feet. The Chinese company Betavolt has made a giant leap in energy engineering by developing a tiny nuclear battery that requires no external charging. This device uses a fascinating process: the decay of nickel-63 isotopes, combined with diamond semiconductors to generate a constant flow of energy for decades. The design allows small devices to operate autonomously for up to 50 years, revolutionizing industries such as medicine and robotics. It is a safe energy source as it emits no external radiation and is resistant to extreme conditions. Imagine a world where environmental sensors or medical devices never need a battery change or an electrical connection. Today's trip is over. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.